in to the hottest station on the planet.
Resistance is futile. The revolution has begun.
You're listening to Rebelpreneur Radio, helping you break the rules and build the business you need for the life you want. And now, broadcasting his pirate signal
from somewhere beyond the status quo,
here's your host, best-selling author, marketing and media strategist, Ralph Brogden.
Hello and welcome to Rebelpreneur Radio, the show that helps you build the business you need so you can live the life you want. I'm Ralph Brogden. I talk quite a bit about messaging, mastering your message, and sharing it with the world. But underneath that message, there's got to be a marketing strategy. There's got to be a marketing plan. Somebody somewhere has to hear or see you in order to take advantage of the great value that you bring to the market. And if they can't see you and hear you, then they certainly cannot buy your products and services. You will not be able to build the business you need, which means you will not be able to live the life you want unless you have that marketing strategy in place. So the world of online marketing is really shifting and changing. There are a few people that I can recommend who are really knowledgeable about what's happening in the online marketing space. One of those experts with us today is Amber Vilhauer. She is an online digital marketing expert who supports authors, speakers, and coaches to establish a powerful integrated online presence that gets results and empowers them to make a difference in their industry. Since starting her company, NGNG Enterprises, and that stands for No Guts, No Glory. I love it. Excellent branding. She started that in 2007. She has spent her career since then impacting her community and building strong strategic alliances with industry leaders and game changers across the globe. You might have heard of some of them. She has supported more than 1,000 entrepreneurs on 6 continents to help them get the results they wanted. And she has been the launch manager behind several #1 best-selling books, including Mark Victor Hansen, Brendon Burchard, Lisa Nichols, and Les Brown. Amber, it is such a pleasure to have you on Rebelpreneur Radio today. Welcome.
Thank you, Ralph. And honestly, the pleasure is mine. And I don't say that lightly. I just have to add that I really, really appreciate that there's somebody like you out there that is correctly guiding people and using authenticity and leading with value. And you are so my kind of people. So I really, I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you guys today.
Well, the pleasure is all mine, but I really appreciate your encouragement there as we put our heads together and put our hearts and our minds together to figure out how in the world are we going to help people get their message out there into the world. And there's so much information, so many things that people are being taught that's not right or is not going to get them the results that they want. And so we are in the same space. We're dealing with the same types of clients, and we're also solving those problems and delivering those results in a particular way. So I love to get different people's perspective, and I want to hear all about yours. First, tell us a little bit more about yourself. How did you get interested in marketing? How did you get started in this business of helping other people to get their message out there to the world?
It's a great question, and I laugh because it's very different than what people think when they see me. Usually if you see somebody who is more dialed in with their messaging or they're a speaker, you think they were always like that. And no, that's not true in my case. As a teenager, I was actually very lost and depressed and didn't have a lot of friends, wasn't doing well in school, wasn't making good decisions. I just didn't know who I wanted to be and how I wanted to show up in the world. And I think I was really frustrated by that. And as a late teen, when I was starting college, I got this random job selling Cutco cutlery, which is like high-end kitchen knives. And it was very outside of the box for the type of person that I was. But I think it was almost divine intervention somehow. And it was at that position, Ralph, that I learned all about marketing and sales and building relationships and management and recruiting and training and event planning. I went pretty deep into the organization, and it really woke me up to my potential. And it was about 5 years after that job experience that I, kind of branched off, and I thought, well, what else does the world, have to offer? And I ended up running this event that taught entrepreneurs how to get money into their business and how to market it online. And this was when I was about 24 years old, and I knew nothing about the online world. So this was almost about 11 years ago. And it was at that event that I learned about blogging and websites and, social media. And I thought, well, this looks interesting and challenging. So I taught myself how to build a website. Then I opened up this company, and I offered that as a service. And I said, I'll build your website. Sure. And, I'm somebody who is a great student. I love to learn. I love to test. I love to play. And so over the years, Ralph, I got much, much better at my craft. And now we work with authors, speakers, and coaches, and we still build websites. We've built about 600 of them now. But I really also have this passion for marketing. And so everything that I've ever offered as a service or speak about, I have done myself. So we're talking video marketing and webinars and launches and you name it. So now that better equips me to support people coming in on how to properly and accurately and more predictably market their message online. It's been fantastic.
That's really neat to hear you say these things, because that's a very similar path to me. Because when I was starting my business, I could not afford, first of all, there were not all of these services online that you could pay people, even if there were services. I mean, I had the dial-up modem that made the weird noises. So this is like, I got a high-speed modem, is 33.6 kbs. So we didn't have back in the day all of these services, all of these experts. So we didn't have software as a service. What is that? Web-based apps. We didn't have any of these tools available to us. And I did the same thing that you did. I had to learn how to do stuff. And in my case, I couldn't pay for it even if it was available. I had to learn it on my own.
Yeah.
The advantage to that is, and this is the advantage that you bring, because then I've had people since then say, "Oh, you should outsource this. You should outsource this." Well, because I have done every single thing and learned every single thing along the way, I'm really kind of uniquely qualified to say what works, what doesn't work. And I've worked in an agency where I could watch people and kind of manage projects and see what they were doing and look at them and say, or look at their work and say, nah, it needs to be this way, not the way that you're doing it, because I'm not totally clueless about how all of this works. I know how long it takes to do something. I know how it should look. And there's a thing in my mind about what the outcome should be. And we're going to keep tweaking it until we get it the way I want it to be. So I think it's really important that people understand all of the moving parts, so that they can really work with someone like you and be more intelligent about their business, about their marketing, and kind of have a clue of what's going on, so they don't get steered in the wrong direction with all the shiny objects and the bells and the whistles. Probably one of the greatest advantages you bring to the table, Amber, is telling people what they don't need to do, what they don't need to worry about, and here's what you need to focus on instead.
100%. And, I'm really glad that you bring that up, because what I find, Ralph, is that most people are just completely overwhelmed right now, and they don't know who to trust. Yeah. And they're overwhelmed because they don't have a plan of action. And so a lot of times people come to me and they're stuck. They don't know what to do or where to go or who to trust or what their plan is. And, common feedback that I get is people really appreciate my transparency, how I have a really simple approach, right? I get rid of all the stuff that's not necessary, that's not going to move the needle, and we focus on what is going to really move the needle. And it's usually things that are very inexpensive and very simple. Yeah. And, it empowers them to then move forward with whatever it is. So it makes me think of this woman, Naomi Sodeman, who's a client of ours. And she had invested in these, premium packages for these top influencers that said, we promise we'll take you to the promised land. And that did not happen for Naomi. So
we will not just point you in the direction, we will take you there.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. And so, this is something that a trap that a lot of people fall into, and, it's not their fault, right? So it's this overwhelm that contributes to it. And so Naomi had gone down this road and was very frustrated and drained and depleted. And this is the case for a lot of people that come to me, Ralph. And so they come to me and they're frustrated. They're usually don't have a lot of money left to invest, and they're just looking for oxygen in their business to keep going. And so it's always a different conversation every time, because I meet people where they are. And we make a plan based on their situation. If they're working 5 hours a week or full time, or what their budget is, or what their goals are, what do they enjoy doing, right? And these are things that most people haven't even thought of. Like, oh, I can build a business around what I enjoy doing? Yes.
And actually, that's what you should be doing, not trying to figure out all of the stuff that it's taken me and you half of our life or most of our life to figure out and make all the mistakes. That's part of the advantage of leveraging someone like you to just come in and handle that, right?
Sure. And so some clients come in and just have me do it all. Other clients want to work with me in a more collaborative way where we do it together. And other clients just want me to teach them what to do, or teach their team what to do, so they are empowered to go do it themselves. So I'm like one of those unicorns, Ralph, that I can just show up where people are and give them what they need. I don't force you into a package. So like in Naomi's case, we designed her logo, we launched her website. I've been doing a lot of coaching with her. And then as she got on more stable footing, then it came time to support her in bigger ways with her marketing. And then that looked like me training her assistant how to do all of her content marketing on her behalf. So I can really show up in a variety of ways, and that makes it more fun for me as well.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good, flexible plan that anyone could take advantage of. We've talked about overwhelm. And that probably is one of the challenges, even more so than technological challenges. But if you had to say what's the biggest problem that you see with the people who come to you for help and come to you for marketing advice, besides overwhelm and just not knowing what to do, is there a common thread, a common problem that you see over and over again with those people?
Well, it's all related, but I think the biggest problem is people come to me and say, I've tried it all and nothing's working. And, I bought into these extremely expensive training and coaching packages, and I've learned 80%, whatever 80% the coach is willing to share with me. And at the end of the day, I still don't know what to do, or I'm not doing it right, or I don't know the details. But I think at the end of the day, their problem is that it just feels like nobody's really hearing their message or what they have to offer. And this is something that is a problem for all of us right now, because when you think about what technology has brought to the world, right? So many wonderful gifts and so much value. And the yin and the yang of it is that there has brought about a lot of challenge for us too. And most people aren't even aware of it. For example, we are all just completely inundated with information. So it's like we are having a harder time focusing on what people are talking about. We have a harder time reading and actually absorbing and retaining the information. We're more distracted. We have more of like attention deficit disorder almost. It's like shiny object syndrome. There's always something new being thrown at us. And it has changed the website world, especially because what we're seeing now in websites is a lot more video and imagery and a lot less text. And there's a reason for that. People just can't read content the way that they used to. And that's a challenge. So now people are, I'm suggesting that people move more toward video, because with video, not only are they retaining the information and they're able to focus better, but video is the most effective way to create human connection in a digital world. And so I feel like the problem is, oh man, nobody's paying attention to me. And the solution is do more video and do it more consistently. And that's one piece of how I can work with people to get their message out and actually have it land so that they're, monetizing their business and getting more clients and so forth.
That's so powerful. And you're so correct about the digital attention span. It's people decide, they make a decision in like a microsecond. And you've got like 3 seconds to keep their attention, and it's renewable every 10 seconds. So if you don't,
Isn't that crazy? It's only getting faster. It's only speeding up, and it's like, well, where is this going to take us?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. So video is very useful for making that human connection. A lot of people are intimidated by video. There's tools out there. We've got such wonderful tools now. And our phones can actually take high quality videos, but that's kind of the opportunity as well as the challenge when everybody can do it and it's so easy to do. Then you start seeing people doing it who really should not be doing it, or they should at least get some professional help before they try to put their video up. I mean, we can't just put cat videos up on our Facebook page and think it's going to translate into business. Or can we?
I don't know. I think everything's worth testing, Ralph.
The perfect answer from a marketing scientist. Test it and see. Let the market decide. I don't know. Maybe they love cats.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's not what I would do, but hey. What's interesting is that you're right. I mean, so video is it's not just the future, it's now. Like it's even the past. If you don't adopt video, you are so behind the times and your business will suffer. And I think that most people can't even comprehend all of the ways that you can implement video into your business and how powerful that is in saving your time and improving your results and profits. And so I've really I'm a great case study for how video has drastically improved my results in marketing, sales, and in operations. But circling back, I do think that just about anybody can do video. And it has been studied that more casual, personal, intimate videos that are not scripted are actually outperforming videos that are more polished and professional and scripted and edited, which I think is really interesting. And I attribute that to the fact that people are tired of fake. They're tired of, smoke and mirrors. People want to know, who can I trust, who actually has value, who do I align with on a personal level? And that's how I shoot my videos. So my videos are unscripted. You can go to my YouTube channel, search on Amber Vilhauer. You'll find a ton of different videos. And it's just me on a camera. And I set it up right at my desk so that it feels like you and I are having a one-on-one conversation in my office. And I am talking just to you, just to the one person. I'm not thinking about the masses. I'm certainly not thinking about myself and what do I look like on camera? No, this is not about me. This is about you and the help that you need. So I think that when you are just yourself and trust yourself and your ability to share your message, and you can do it in a more conversational one-on-one way, I actually think that most people can do video, and I think that they absolutely need to try because the stakes are too high. It's too important not to try.
Well, there is gold in what you just shared with people. Even the part that you shared about the type of video that resonates with people. They're looking for authenticity, and the term I think is overproducing. You can overproduce your video, so to the extent that it actually diminishes the perception of it being authentic. In my master's thesis, one of the studies that I read for my strategic communication thesis, it's talking about video persuasion, and a couple of interesting findings. One of them you just mentioned, that if it's overproduced, people tend to not perceive it as being trustworthy because it seems like marketing. I talk about that in my book. There's this tremendous psychological barrier that people throw up whenever they feel like you are trying to market to them or sell to them. And so when they say a professional, overproduced branding video, they tend to think, there's a sales pitch in here. And they automatically tune that out. But with the indirect, I don't want to get too technical here, but with the indirect route of persuasion, that's exactly what you're describing. We're not trying to sell. We're not trying to overproduce. This isn't a hardcore marketing pitch. You're just being yourself in a very relaxed, casual, unscripted way. And the point of that is it does create that human connection that people crave. People want to do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And people do business with people, not with brands, especially these, the coaches, the authors, the experts that you and I work with. They're not trying to build a big brand like Starbucks. They're just trying to get people to know, like, and trust them. And so you're saying video is probably the best and most effective way to do that powerfully and consistently.
100%. And consistently is the key. You have to start getting more disciplined in your marketing, sales, and in your operations if you want to have a successful business moving forward. And I think, especially as it relates to marketing, Ralph, paid advertising, that whole world is in a state of flux right now. And a lot of top influencers are losing a lot of money on Facebook advertising right now. Other advertising and marketing methods are starting to fail. And there's the whole online world really is in a bit of a crisis right now. The competition's never been higher. Corporations are starting to buy up the online real estate and dominate search engines. And what does that mean for the little guys? Really, your best chance at getting your message out and getting people to really come into your website, your organization, and give you a shot is consistently publishing free content online where you're leading with value. And my personal opinion is that video is the best way to do that. Once you get into a rhythm with it, video is so fast and easy to create. And my whole thing right now, Ralph, is I'm somebody that loves systems and I love efficiency. I don't like wasting my time. I like maximizing my time. So I got this idea a few years ago and I thought, what if I were to record a little 3 to 5 minute tip video, something like the deadliest mistakes you're making on your website or whatever. And if I could just record this 3 to 5 minute tip video, what if I could give it to my team and say, please watch my video and do some keyword research so that we know the best way to title and tag my video, then upload it to YouTube, make me a blog post that just summarizes what I talk about in the video, and then we'll invite people to watch the video, and then send that blog post out to my weekly email newsletter list so that they're getting value every single week. And then we're inviting them back to the website where they can see everything else I have to offer and just be reminded of what it is that we do. So now we're in search engines, we're getting the YouTube stuff done. We've got the blogging and the email marketing. And then I just ask them to take, snippets of the video and combine that with what we do and some offers, and then do all of my social media for me. So effectively, all I had to do is create this little tip video, and the rest of my content marketing would be done for me every single week. Now, that system that I created was so powerful that after a year of just doing that, we had so many of the right type of qualified leads coming back into our website that I actually had to stop marketing for 2 years because we were happy. And this was just because of following the natural laws of content marketing. Like, it is the most predictable, stable way to get your message out, but you have to do it consistently for it to work.
That's so amazing. Everyone else is scrambling, trying to get clients. Oh yeah, get clients. And Amber's like, I had to stop marketing for 2 years because we had so many.
Yeah. And the key is that they were the right people. Right. And this is what I love about video. the people who are not a match to work with me, they might look at my video and think, she's got too much energy. She's too excitable, too smiley. Yuck. Well, fine. They're not a fit, and they'll never come and contact me. We'll never schedule a call.
Yeah.
But
Don't waste my time, because if you don't like my video, you're definitely not going to like working with me.
But the right people watch my video and they're just drawn in. Yeah. And it's funny to me how many times I start a sales call, Ralph, and the person on the other end says, Amber, I watched so many of your videos. I feel like I already know you. That's the key.
That's amazing, isn't it? And that's exactly what we're trying to do, to create those relationships and those human connections. And you make it sound so easy to just take 2 or 3 minutes and do a little simple video, but just do it consistently every week. Have a plan, keep it simple, and just be consistent and be real, be authentic, put it out there. And see where it goes. And you are a great example of how someone can do that in their business. Everyone knows something, especially if you're a coach or an author, you've written a book, you've got some knowledge. Here is the best way to leverage that knowledge in a way that delivers to you the prospects, the clients that are the best fit for you. Wonderful. I love it. Tell us a little bit about leverage to scale.
Yeah, so leverage to scale basically relates to the marketing process that I just laid out to you. After I had seen such success with recording these videos and then having my team repurpose them to get the rest of my content marketing done for me, it was about a year ago that I thought, maybe I was onto something with that. Like that was really successful for me. I bet that would help a lot of people. And so I actually spent some time documenting the step-by-step list of systems and procedures to get that marketing done for me. And I put it into a membership area, and I called it Leverage to Scale, with the idea that a business owner, like an author, speaker, coach, or even a realtor to a baker, photographer, a farmer, anybody really, could buy into the system and it would implant directly into their business. So they own it, it's theirs. And it would be a training system that they could take a virtual assistant that's already on their team, or they could go hire one for $10 an hour and put them through the training to get their marketing done for them without paying a $3,000 a month agency fee, without them having to go through a 20-week, $20,000 program trying to learn it themselves. The idea is that the system is it's already done. So they can put a team member through it. The team member does the marketing. And now that frees up the business owner so they don't have to do it themselves. And they can be focused on selling, relationship building, creating their own content, right? They're not stuck in the weeds doing their own marketing. And they're saving a tremendous amount of money by not outsourcing it to an agency. And it just gives them control back. So basically, it's a virtual assistant training system that goes into their own business. And that's what Leverage to Scale is.
Wow. That sounds really, really powerful. A great name, by the way, Leverage to Scale. That is the ultimate leverage, particularly with authors, speakers, coaches that you work with, that I work with, that they could actually focus on their zone of genius, focus on their passion, and basically know with beyond a shadow of a doubt that this very important aspect of their business is being handled. It's being taken care of. Because I tell you what, if you don't have a plan and you don't have a system in place, it's not going to happen automatically. And you're living proof that it can be done, and you've done it.
Yes. Yep. And we have a lot of amazing case studies from so many different industries. And This is really my passion project, Ralph. This is like legacy stuff. I mean, we're still building websites and doing a lot of consulting and book launches and all the things. But leverage to scales is very meaningful to me. So we are continuing to give ongoing training updates, supporting virtual assistants as they come in, yet there's no ongoing cost. It's a one-time fee and you get forever access to leverage to scale. Because again, I really want to give control back to the business owner. And this is why I'm so passionate about it, because right now business owners have no control. Mm-hmm. They're forced into spending tens of thousands of dollars to try to learn the solution, spending their time, or they're paying agencies a ridiculous fee. Like, I'm trying to carve a path in the middle so that they get that control and ownership back. They get results. It frees them up. And I'm just fired up about it. So thank you for the opportunity to talk about it.
Yeah, I think that our listeners should definitely check this out. LeverageToScale.com is the website, and we'll have that on our website as well, linked from this episode, LeverageToScale.com. Amber, this has really been enlightening. It's encouraging to always talk with a fellow marketing strategist person and to see what they're doing, and everything that you're talking about really resonates. And so I encourage our listeners to go check it out. Any final thoughts or words of wisdom that you'd like to share with our listeners before we call it a day?
Sure. When I get asked that, there's only one thing that ever comes to my mind, Ralph, and that is to end by saying, no guts, no glory. I really want people to remember that, because it is really challenging to grow a business. You're stretching yourself in so many ways, and you're taking risks, and you're taking on team members and employees, and you're taking chances and making partnerships and putting yourself out there. And it's hard. I mean, it's challenging in our mindset. And in those moments when you're up against the next thing, I would love for you to remember no guts, no glory, because it will help you push through whatever fear or insecurity, anything that's holding you back, and it will help you be your greatest and highest self, which will have the greatest and highest impact on the world. So that's what I have to end with.
Great motivational and encouraging words from Amber Vilhauer. She is an online digital marketing expert who supports authors, speakers, and coaches to help them establish a powerful integrated online presence that gets results and empowers them to make a difference in their industry. She has been the launch manager behind several #1 best-selling books, including those for Mark Victor Hansen, Brendon Burchard, Lisa Nichols, and Les Brown. And she's the owner of NGNG Enterprises. That's No Guts, No Glory, as we just found out. So go check her out at LeverageToScale.com if you want to learn more. Amber, it's been a real pleasure to get to know you. Thanks so much for being on Rebelpreneur Radio today. I really appreciate it.
I'm very grateful. Thank you.
You've been listening to Rebelpreneur Radio with Ralph Brogden. Download the show notes and much more at Rebelpreneur.com.